If you have ADHD, decision-making can feel strangely exhausting in a way that's hard to explain to other people. Even small choices, what to eat, which task to start, which email to answer first, can feel heavy, draining, or overwhelming. From the outside, it can look like indecision or overthinking. From the inside, it feels like your brain is running out of fuel. If you've ever wondered why making choices leaves you tired or frozen, this isn't a personal flaw. It's how ADHD affects decision fatigue. Decision fatigue happens when the brain's ability to evaluate options, weigh consequences, and initiate action becomes depleted. Everyone experiences this to some degree, but with ADHD, decision fatigue sets in faster and hits harder. That's because decision-making relies heavily on executive function, which is already more effortful for ADHD brains. Each decision uses up cognitive energy. When you're making dozens or hundreds of small decisions every day just to function, that energy drains quickly. What makes ADHD decision fatigue especially challenging is that it often starts early in the day. Before you even begin working, your brain may already be tired from navigating routines, transitions, and internal regulation. Choosing what to wear, what to eat, when to leave, how to organize your time. These decisions add up. By the time you sit down to do something important, your decision-making system may already be overloaded. This is why starting tasks can feel impossible even when motivation is present. Another layer is that ADHD brains often struggle with prioritization. When everything feels equally important or equally urgent, making a decision becomes stressful. The brain doesn't know which option deserves attention, so it stalls. This isn't because you lack judgment, it's because ADHD affects how the brain assigns value and urgency. Without clear signals, decision-making feels unsafe, and avoidance becomes a form of self-protection. Perfectionism can also intensify decision fatigue. Many people with ADHD develop perfectionistic tendencies as a coping strategy. If you've been criticized for mistakes in the past, you may try to make the right choice every time to avoid negative outcomes. But seeking the perfect decision requires more mental energy than making a good enough one. Over time, this constant pressure makes decisions feel high stakes, even when they're not. Decision fatigue is also deeply emotional. Choices are rarely neutral for ADHD brains. Each decision can carry fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of regret. That emotional weight increases cognitive load. You're not just choosing an option, you're managing anxiety about what the choice might say about you. This emotional labor drains energy just as much as mental processing does. This is why ADHD decision fatigue often leads to avoidance. When the brain anticipates exhaustion or emotional discomfort, it tries to delay the decision altogether. This can look like procrastination, distraction, or shutting down. But avoidance isn't laziness, it's the brain trying to conserve energy. Unfortunately, avoidance often creates more stress later, reinforcing the cycle. Another reason decisions feel exhausting with ADHD is working memory overload. ADHD affects the ability to hold multiple pieces of information in mind at once. When making a decision, you might try to consider every variable, outcome, and possibility. Without strong working memory support, this quickly becomes overwhelming. Thoughts loop, options blur together. Instead of clarity, you get mental noise. Over time, this can lead to decision paralysis. You want to act, but your brain feels stuck. This paralysis can be deeply frustrating, especially when others don't understand why you're struggling with something that seems simple. Hearing phrases like, "just pick one," or "it doesn't matter," can increase shame rather than help. For ADHD brains, it does matter. Not because the choice is objectively huge, but because the process itself is exhausting. Decision fatigue also affects follow-through. Even after you make a decision, you may feel drained. This can make it hard to act on the choice you just made. You decide what to do, but you don't have the energy left to do it. This disconnect can feel confusing and demoralizing. You might wonder why clarity didn't lead to action. The answer is that decision-making used up the remaining capacity. This is why reducing the number of decisions you make is often more effective than trying to make better decisions. ADHD-friendly systems aim to minimize choice rather than optimize it. Routines, defaults, and pre-decisions exist not to control you. but to protect your energy. When fewer decisions are required, more energy is available for meaningful tasks. It's also important to understand that decision fatigue isn't constant. Some days, decisions feel easier. Other days, they feel impossible. This fluctuation is normal for ADHD. Factors like sleep, stress, emotional load, and novelty all influence decision capacity. Expecting yourself to have consistent decision-making energy sets you up for frustration. Flexibility is key. Many people with ADHD blame themselves for being bad at decisions. But this framing misses the point. You're not bad at deciding. You're operating with a system that requires more fuel to do the same job. When that fuel runs low, the system slows down. That's not failure, it's physics. Another overlooked aspect is decision recovery. After making a lot of decisions, ADHD brains often need time to reset. Without recovery, fatigue accumulates. This is why back-to-back meetings, constant interruptions, or environments that demand rapid decision-making can be especially draining. Building in decision-free time can help restore balance. Decision fatigue can also spill into personal life. You might find yourself defaulting to others' choices or avoiding decisions altogether. This can create imbalance in relationships and reduce your sense of agency. It's not because you don't care, it's because your decision-making resources are limited. Understanding this allows for better communication and support. One helpful reframe is separating decisions into categories. Some decisions truly matter, others don't. ADHD brains often treat them all as equally important, which increases fatigue. Learning to consciously downgrade low-stakes decisions can reduce load. This isn't about being careless, it's about preserving energy for what actually needs it. Another strategy is externalizing decisions. Writing options down, using visual aids, or setting simple rules can offload cognitive work. When decisions live outside your head, they're less draining. ADHD brains benefit from making thinking visible. This reduces mental juggling and brings relief. It's also worth acknowledging the grief that can come with decision fatigue. You might grieve the ease with which others seem to decide. You might wish your brain worked differently. These feelings are valid, but they don't define your worth or capability. ADHD brings challenges, but it also brings creativity, insight, and adaptability. Supporting your decision-making doesn't mean giving up those strengths. Recovery from decision fatigue involves compassion as much as strategy. Being kinder to yourself when decisions feel hard reduces emotional load. This doesn't make you weaker, it makes decision-making safer. When fear and shame decrease, clarity increases. Decision fatigue also improves when expectations are realistic. You don't need to make perfect decisions all the time. You need decisions that move you forward gently. Allowing yourself to revise choices later reduces pressure and makes deciding feel less final. Flexibility is an ADHD strength when it's allowed. If decision fatigue has been impacting your life, it doesn't mean you're failing at adulthood. It means you've been navigating a world that demands constant decisions without adequate support. Recognizing this can be deeply validating. It shifts the focus from self-blame to system design. Inside Dopaloop Pro, we talk about decision fatigue in this exact way, without judgment, without pressure, and without unrealistic expectations. We focus on tools and frameworks that reduce decision load so your energy can go toward living, not just choosing. If you want ADHD-friendly support that respects your limits, you'll find the link in the description.